What if I told you that some of the biggest decisions about your future, your career, your reputation, even your opportunities are happening right now in rooms where you aren't present? It's kind of crazy to think about. You can be the hardest worker, the most talented person in the room, the one who always shows up, but if no one is speaking up for you when it matters most, you're already at a disadvantage. And here's the reality. The most successful people in life are not just smart or hardworking. They have the right people advocating for them behind closed doors. Just think about it. Every opportunity you've ever had, whether it's your first job, that big project, that life-changing introduction, probably came because someone mentioned your name. So that raises the question, who's fighting for you when you're not there to defend yourself? And more importantly, are you surrounding yourself with people who will lift you up, or are you unknowingly staying in circles where silence is the default? As you grow older, it's crucial that you understand why having the right people in your corner is a game changer, how to identify who's truly advocating for you and who isn't, and understanding that building a powerful support system that fights for your success is crucial to your growth and you finding out who you truly are. Let me start with the real life story of two people that I once knew. One of them, her name was Lisa. She used to work in marketing. She was smart, she was capable, she used to always deliver results. And she wasn't the type of person to be the loudest in the room, but her work always spoke for itself, or at least she thought it did. One day, a senior leadership position finally had opened up. Lisa knew she was qualified, so she assumed that her performance alone was going to get her notice. Meanwhile, another employee, David, had been in the company for a much shorter time. He wasn't as experienced as Lisa, but he had something Lisa didn't, a strong network of people fighting for him. And when the executives met to discuss promotions, Lisa's name was barely mentioned. Not because she wasn't good, but because no one in that room was actively pushing for her. David, on the other hand, his mentor, who was also a senior director, brought up his name. His former manager chimed in saying stuff like David would be a great fit. And multiple co-workers would say stuff like he's been stepping up in ways you might not have seen. And just like that, David got the job. And Lisa was devastated. She couldn't understand why, after years of hard work, she had been overlooked. But the truth was clear. She had no one fighting for her in the room where it mattered. Now, this isn't just about getting a promotion. This applies to every area of life. Your friendships, your business, even your reputation. Because the truth is, people's opinions about you are being formed when you're not in the room. Decisions that impact your future are being made when you're not there. So if you don't have the right people advocating for you, you're relying on luck instead of strategy. So how do you make sure you always have people who fight for you when you're not around? Identify who's really in your corner. Not everyone in your life is your true advocate. Some people are neutral, and some, if we're being real, couldn't care less about your success. So that brings me to the question, how do you know who actually fights for you? What are the signs that someone is advocating for you? Well, number one, they bring up your name and opportunities. Have you ever had someone reach out and say, "Yo, bro, I recommended you for this job," or "I was just in a meeting and thought of you for a big project"? That's a true supporter. Another one is they defend you when you're not there. If someone tries to undermine you, do your friends, your coworkers, or your mentors step in, or do they stay silent? Silence is a form of betrayal. The ones who truly have your back will make sure no one tarnishes your name. Another sign is they're always sharing opportunities with you. They send you job postings. They introduce you to people. They invite you into rooms where you can grow. They aren't gatekeepers, they are door openers. Another one, which is crucial not just for jobs but all walks of life, is when you have people who celebrate your wins with you with no jealousy. Some people will cheer for you until you surpass them. The real ones, they'll celebrate your success even when it doesn't benefit it. Now let's flip it for a second. What are some signs someone will not fight for you? They never mention you for opportunities. Even if you're the perfect fit, They don't go out their way to put your name forward. Number 2, they stay silent when others criticize you. A real supporter won't let your reputation be damaged without stepping in. Another one, they see you as competition, not as a teammate. If someone only supports you when you're on their level, but grows distant when you succeed, they are not your people. Once you recognize who's truly in your corner, it's time to actively build your support network. Build a circle that lifts you up. You don't just find a great support system, you create one. And it starts with being the kind of person who fights for others. Be the advocate you want to have. Before you start asking stuff like who's fighting for me, ask yourself, who are you fighting for? Do you mention people's names in the right rooms? Do you celebrate your friends' wins even when they're ahead of you? Do you help people get opportunities even when there's nothing in it for you? Because here's the secret. The energy that you put out is what you attract. If you make advocacy a habit, you'll naturally start attracting people who do the same for you. A lot of times people will see quotes on social media, they'll watch motivational / advice videos, and they're only applying it to the rest of the world and not doing some soul searching and asking, am I applying these principles to myself? So like I said, don't just ask what is everybody around me doing for me. Ask yourself, what are you doing for those you call your friends? Next, cut out the wrong people. There are people in your life who never fight for you, who never mention your name when it matters. And number 3, they secretly hope when you fail. And keeping them in your circle is hurting you. You don't need 100 supporters. You just need a solid 5 to 10 people who will go to war for you. Choose them wisely. Step number 3, build relationships with key decision makers. Let's be honest. Some of the biggest opportunities in life are controlled by people in leadership positions. So, if you want to be considered in those rooms, you need to build relationships with the people who make the decisions. Get a mentor, someone in your industry who can vouch for you. Make sure your work is visible. If no one knows what you're doing, they won't speak up for you. Provide value. Build relationships before you need them. Because when decision makers know your name and respect your work, they'll advocate for you without even asking. I'll leave you with this before I go. At the end of the day, your success isn't just about how hard you work. It's about who speaks for you when you're not in the room. So always ask yourself, as you're climbing up the ladder and finding out who you are, who is fighting for me? Who do I need to distance myself from? And am I fighting for others the way I want to be fought for? Because when you build the right circle, a circle that fights for you, you won't have to chase opportunities. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the message, if you were motivated in any capacity, show love in the comments or share it with someone who needs to hear this. I'm thankful for all the support I've received thus far. I'm fairly new, but just like anything else in life, I'm getting better video by video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, stay humble, be blessed, and keep going.